Howdy, everybody out there. As you know, we are right in between our big break for Arc 3 into Arc 4. We have one more episode, which is kind of a wrap-up to Arc 3 and kind of a big season finale type of thing. And then on November 2nd, we'll be back with Arc 4. So, in the meantime, I've had a chance to kind of reach out and speak to a few people in the community, and one of them is Guy over at How to Be a Great Game Master on YouTube. If you haven't checked out that channel, I sincerely hope you do by the end of this, because Guy's been awesome to talk to, and we've been kind of communicating back and forth for like a month and a half, somewhere in there. But we did a bit of a book exchange. So he reviewed The Adventurer's Guide to Theria for us, and we are super thankful for that, because he did a great job. And we kind of sent each other books. So he sent us this lovely thing, The Complete Guide to Nautical Campaigns. Now, this has been out for a little bit, and I love when someone takes a topic and completely exhausts it, right? We're talking sitting down and really wringing everything out. All the possible fun and interesting concepts, and just draining it dry, because nothing against Wizards of the Coast, but I always kind of felt that 5e was a bit lacking in the whole ship department. Even Ghost of the Saltmarsh, that came out, and it did flesh things out a bit. It helped with some things like combat and you know, life at sea a little, but it always kind of left it vague. I think they focused more on the adventure aspect rather than how it would actually feel, and I think it makes it a little bit difficult for roleplay. Now, one of the things that I really love about this book, besides the artwork, which has a real Magic the Gathering circa 1996 vibe, there's some real awesome stuff in here. And let me flip to the combat section just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Like, there's a it's very high fantasy oil painting type of thing, and I love that. But from top to bottom, this thing goes over what it would be like to actually be out at sea, whether it's making a career on the high seas, you know, your typical adventure explorer type of thing, or a pirate, or if you're just chartering a ship and you're just trying to make it across this huge sea gap, something like that. But it's very good at communicating that to you and giving you things to do on a ship. For those of you who remember, in Arc 3, we had a prolonged period of time where Group C was just on a ship. And running things straight out of the book, you kind of struggle for things for the party to do, because either each one of them are members of a crew, and they have specific jobs on the ship, or they have a crew that works for them, and they're just left kind of puttering around, and you either end up fast traveling or combat or something like that, and it can get a bit tedious. So, to start off, there are 5 new races in the book, and I really like sea kobolds are a really fun idea. I really love that. But obviously you have stuff like merfolk in here, and I love options for creating new characters. And if you're going to do nautical campaigns anyway, obviously you want to throw in all these seafaring, aquatic type races. And I think that people have a lot of fun kind of exploring that. It takes up only a small portion of the front of the book. And I think that's kind of smart, because it allows you to take up the bulk of the book to actually get out there and do stuff. To give you an idea, there are expanded ship roles. So, obviously, Captain, Bosun, that was part of the original kind of core crew set of specifically Ghost of the Salt Marsh, and then a lot of homebrew stuff I've seen. But you also get stuff like cabin boy, cook, surgeon. Kind of goes into, I wouldn't say less important roles, but definitely the less glamorous stuff that goes on a ship, and all the things that would need to kind of keep things afloat and keep people happy. Mutiny is a huge thing, and I think in something like Ghost of the Salt Marsh, they sort of touch on it, and it's more, oh, you should keep people happy, and they don't go into that too much. Whereas in this book, I feel like there's a much more defined role for each crew member to do their part and ensure that everyone is healthy and happy and all that stuff, because there are a number of things that can turn a crew against you or just make people miserable, obviously. We go from that into a huge expanded thing on ship rules and how to navigate from one place to another, what to do in that time, and then obviously a huge thing, like 20 some odd pages about combat. And that is something that drove me nuts in... That's something that drove me nuts in the base rules for ships in 5e. When you're piloting the ship is going, you turn, and it takes about the appropriate amount of effort to turn. And then if you stop in combat, the ship just stops dead. Totally dead. Which is not how water or momentum or anything works. That's not how a ship would operate. So they kind of go into this and how to still run a fast and fun combat encounter that isn't too in-depth with rules to weigh things down. I honestly can't wait to give this a shot. I'll probably try to use these rules next time we do some sort of like one-off, or just experiment with a ship encounter type of thing, because I think it would make things a lot more fluid, a lot more fun, and honestly, just navigation itself wouldn't be such a chore. You have an entire section on just building your own ship, right? There's understanding each ship template, and then there's creating your own thing, kind of I want to say a No Man's Sky type of thing, where you're outfitting your ship with different things that you think you might need, and how many slots you might have, how much room there is on the ship, if you have anybody skilled enough to use these things on a ship. And it's, again, I love stuff like tables and getting in depth with a specific thing, so this is heaven for me. I really like that. And then, of course, there's an entire list of adventures that it's like 25, 30 pages of just adventuring hooks, ideas, and then obviously running little one-shot type adventures that can get you started. Again, I highly recommend you checking this out. It is a gorgeous looking book, and I'm really impressed with the feel of it, I guess, is the big thing. It's about 180 pages of content, and it just has a good, like, almost a parchment feel, I want to say, with the texture of the pages and just the overall look. That is the complete guide to nautical campaigns from How to Be a Great GM. I'm obviously going to leave links for the YouTube video and the book itself in the description for both the audio and video for this. If you're listening to this on our main feed in audio, there's a video version of this on YouTube. I'll leave a link for that too, just so you can kind of get a glimpse of the book. I tried not to make it too visual so that people who listened on the main feed didn't feel too left out. But if you're thinking about running a nautical campaign, or just want some interesting ship combat, if you want some expanded races to take a look at and try to run in your campaign, I highly suggest you check this out. And I also very much suggest you check out their YouTube channel, because it is updated regularly, like every few days. There's a brand new video, and it basically covers any kind of subject you would need over time to improve your game mastering. So I really hope you enjoy that. Please check it out, and we'll be back with Arc 4 very shortly. October 31st, we'll be back with the last episode of Arc 3 and kind of a big special to wrap things up. So thank you all, and I really hope you enjoyed this book.